Right, hello everyone. We are outside of, I nearly said White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium where Newcastle United have somehow come away with a 2-1 win. And this is the last word. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to the last word. Drop us a massive like. You can listen to this on audio as well. We do have Eddie Howe coming up very, very shortly. But this is the last word. If you haven't seen the reaction from Sam, if you haven't seen also the vlog from my travels down, worried about the snow, getting home on the plane, have a look at that. It's already out. But this is the last word where we'll wrap up everything from Spurs, from the 2-1 win. And Newcastle are absolutely flying. It wasn't the best performance in the world today, which we will touch upon. But let's jump in like we normally do with the last word. And we'll jump straight into the lineup. So the big talking point was Sven Botman coming in. Now this actually really surprised us. I don't know what you feel, but I actually thought it would be Lloyd Kelly. I thought Botman would either be introduced in Arsenal and then Bromley, or just Bromley in that, or just be Bromley only. But you come in as a right centre back with left-footed, and that was the only change with Fabian Schär being suspended. So it was interesting to see the balance of the defence without Fabian Schär. And obviously Spurs, of course, have a lot of injury problems, a lot of illness as well. Still got a decent side, still had good substitutes that came off the bench. So, look, it's still a decent side and we've got to go out there and put a performance in. And it was hard work, it was very hard work. And I've talked upon this week with Manchester United, with Spurs away, if Newcastle can get 4 points, they'll be back in the Champions League race, and they are back in the Champions League race. You cannot deny that now. 5th place might even get you Champions League place, depending on how well the English clubs do in Europe. So Newcastle, without a shadow of a doubt, are back in the hunt. Who would have thought that after Brentford? The doom, the gloom, the tiredness, the everything, even what I said after Brentford. Look at it now. Newcastle are absolutely flying. Obviously Arsenal on the rise, which we'll touch upon at the end, but I'm going on a tangent because I can't believe the turnaround in it. And that goes to show you, and it's fickle. I'm fickle as well as a football fan. You live in the moment, and look at the last few weeks. It's been an absolutely incredible ride. It's not the greatest performance, no, but we've got the 3 points. So we'll start off then. I'm trying to remember all the chances as well. I'm not actually great with remembering everything. I'm not, to be honest with you. That's why I get Johnny normally today, because he's quite good with remembering a lot of the stuff. But Newcastle, obviously. Look, the first half was a bit all over the place. They'll score, we'll score. Hello. Stranger from Japan next to me. I'll drop you a message. But it was a mad start. Where it was 1-1 in the space of something like the first 8 minutes or something. So obviously Spurs got off to the start, and I thought Botman was actually very, very shaky to begin with. That's probably natural considering he's only just come back. He got beaten. Solanke puts Newcastle 1-0 down, or Spurs 1-0 up. You can tell I'm tired. So we're 1-0 down, and even then I thought there was another cross and Botman looked shaky as well. But we got the equaliser to Anthony Gordon, and obviously there was a lot made of Spurs' third choice goalkeeper coming in today. But I actually thought he'd done all right, considering he was third choice. So I don't think Spurs. He probably could. Because I don't rate Fraser Forster. I know he's a local lad back in Hexham, but I think that Spurs' third goalkeeper should be second choice, judging of that performance. But can't judge at one performance. But anyways, Anthony Gordon gets the ball, he puts it home, 1-0, low finish, and it's an equaliser. Sends the away fans into celebration. I'll come on to away fans a little bit later. So it's 1-1. And then we scored through, if I'm trying to remember, was it Tonali who played at the right, and was it Murphy? I can't remember. It was Livermore. It was one of them. Again, I haven't seen it back. That's when he come out the ground. I haven't seen it back. But it's a low ball, and Dragerson gets a touch, doesn't he? Then Isak gets a little bit a toe on it, and I think Isak's now scored in his last 7 games, which is incredible. And you've got all the Arsenal fans going on, "Oh, we should sign Isak. We should sign Isak." Well, I hope he goes and scores a couple on Tuesday, as some of the Toon fans are singing behind me the Lewis Hall song. But Isak puts 2-1 up, and it was it justified? Maybe shaded it, but I can't really remember too many chances from Spurs in that first half. But Obviously, Gordon had another chance, didn't he, where it was sort of forced the goalkeeper to save, but he should be saving it, to be honest with you. Half-time came. I'm going to talk about the atmosphere now, because I thought the atmosphere was really poor from both sides. That's our away end. And I can only talk from my side where I was, because it was very difficult to generate an atmosphere on the left side. So how the away section is here, it goes round the corner flag. So I was at the side, whereas we had some fans behind the corner flag. The corner flag going towards the goal was brilliant. I thought that was decent. My section that I was in, it was very, very flat. It felt like it had been fans that have not been in a away game for a while. There was 2 or 3 maybe singing from maybe 400 or 500. I don't know if it's corporate tickets that are being sent out, but I really felt the atmosphere in the away end was really poor today. Really poor, and I don't often say that. It's probably the worst this season for me in terms of where I was. Obviously, other people who were in that corner area probably might say differently, but for me, I experienced pretty poor. But Spurs, Christ almighty. Newcastle want to go and get a new stadium, what some fans want. You've got to be careful what you wish for, because some of the atmospheres are bigger, like the new stadiums are not as great. Newcastle have got a brilliant atmosphere. Why would you want to give that away? Risk losing that. They've only got 2 songs. Come on, you Spurs, or when the Spurs go marching in, or Yid Army. 3. That's all they've got. They kept singing "Come on, you Spurs" every so often, but it was in between that. It was so flat. I'm having a go at Spurs fans. Yes, I am. I'm also having to go with some of our fans where I was. And even I'm probably partial guilty to that as well. I just felt the atmosphere from both sides was really poor. Really, really bad today, like. But anyways, I've gone on a tangent. Second half, there was less pressing from Newcastle. We took my foot off the gas a little bit. Didn't have too many chances. Spurs, if I just remember, I'm not going to talk about every single individual chance, but a lot of them seemed to me that they were being flashed across the edge of the box. A lot of shots just going wide. I think they hit the post. And before that, just before they hit the post, I think Dubravka saved it as well. So from a Spurs point of view, they probably should have scored in that second half. And it was like, I felt like a goal was coming. I did from Spurs. I was waiting for Eddie Howe to make a few substitutions, make some changes, freshen it up a little bit. We're seeing Joe Willock go up top for Isak. He was knackered. Sean Longstaff. Botman went off with an injury. Judging from what I've seen, and he went to the dugout, and that doesn't look too serious, because when he went down, I thought, oh no, has he rushed him back too soon? But it doesn't look too serious, so I don't know if he's going to play him again on Tuesday. I really don't know. Can Botman play 3 games in a week at Bromley? If he plays on Tuesday, he doesn't play against Bromley. If he doesn't play on Tuesday, he plays against Bromley. So he's not doing 3 in a week, because that's madness, rushing him back after being out for so long. But as I say, Spurs had a few chances at the end. The referee, I have to say, Madley was shocking, mind. And I'm not pointing the finger because we won the game. No, in fact, fuck it, I am. He was fucking shite. He was absolutely fucking shite. When you lose a game and you blame the referee, you're kind of like, you're covering up the cracks a little bit. But we won the game. But Madley was awful, man. Awful. He's officiating. Some of the non-fouls and some of the petty yellow cards and the 10 minutes being added on, which turned into 12 minutes being added on at the end. Where did that come from? Oh, I thought he had a really, really poor game, mind. A really poor game. So, but we hung on. We got the 3 points. That's all that matters. And Newcastle, as I say, have been blasting teams, scoring 2s, 3s, 4-0, keeping clean sheets. We've won ugly. And I think we'll probably need to do that a little bit more often this season as well, when we're in a rich vein of form. We can't always blast teams, so it's a good win. And as I said this evening, it feels like this evening. It's still afternoon, which is madness. But let's hear what Eddie Howe said earlier.
Yeah, not just at the end, but I think in the first half as well. You go 1-0 down so early in the game, coming to a place like this, it's a big challenge and a big response needed. And fortunately, we scored pretty soon after, a really good goal from our perspective. And yeah, I think we had to dig deep today. That was a tough win, but a massive one for us. I think there's no denying the ball hit Joe's hand or arm, but I'm not sure on the rules, so someone will tell me exactly what happened there. Yeah, I mean, he's in the right place at the right time again, and that is an art. Another good cross from Jacob, and he's in the right place at the right time. He'd be probably disappointed with the one that he didn't take, but he's in there again, and a great finish. Massive goals for us. He's on a really hot streak. Long may that continue. Your confidence has definitely shifted. I think it naturally does when you win games. I think this was hopefully something we were building to. I think our performances generally were pretty good. We went through a really difficult run, but in amongst those there's games there we probably should have won. But I think we're a very good team. We've got good players, so I'd like to think we can keep it going.
Thank you, Edward. Right, so that was Mr. Howe, and Newcastle are in the dizzy heights challenging for Champions League football now. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. I think, do you know what? Do you know what's helped as well? Is so many games being in close proximity. Ooh, that's a big word, Lee. For me, because we've had a game every 3 to 4 days, and it's turned the season around. It can go one way, because if you're playing 5 or 6 games and you're not doing that well, you can literally fall down the table. Look at Man United. Look at us. We're flying. We've just rocketed back up the league. It's mad. The turnaround in the club, and fair play, absolute fair play. You know, I think you've got every right to, at the time, to criticise the tactics and the performances under Eddie Howe up until the Brentford part. Some of yous didn't want Eddie Howe to go. I was starting to turn. It's some turnaround, you have to say that. Newcastle in the hunt for Champions League, which is incredible. It is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. I mean, Arsenal on Tuesday, and Arsenal will be a harder test. Arsenal will be a harder test. I think even if Newcastle were to go down and get defeated, not that I want to, because we'll be back here covering it for the channel again. If we can stay in the tie, I think that's probably more important, especially with Bruno now out and Fabian Schär out. Fabian Schär being out is a good rest for him, but it's not good for the team. So, and Bruno obviously, it's a good rest for him as well, but it's not good for the team. So we've got a decision to make. Who comes in midfield there? Is it going to be Longstaff? Is it going to be Willock? So obviously Willock will be dying to play against his old side, but I don't know if that's the right call or not. Is it Longstaff? I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see if it's Botman. But if we can just stay in the tie on Tuesday, you know, we're hunting down a Champions League place. I'm in the semi-final, and we can take them back, because the return games early February, isn't it? Because my money come out yesterday for it. It's really good. It is really, really good. The way that we are currently in a minute, I still kind of get the turnaround. I'm still shocked at Botman starting. A lot of players. I say a lot of players who stood out. I heard that Sam was telling us earlier that Ali McCoy's give man of the match to their goalkeeper, which was a bit strange. That was very strange. Newcastle, I thought the fullbacks were brilliant. I didn't think anybody was a 9 or anything like that. I think there's a few 8s in there and a couple of 7s. So probably I'm torn between the two fullbacks. Take your pick, flip a coin. I thought Dan Burn improved as the game went on. For Botman was shaky, but obviously he improved as the game went on as well. Dubravka, I don't think he can do anything about the goal. And obviously there is a lot of talk with him, of course, at the moment. Transfer speculation, will he leave the club? You can't let him go until Nick Pope is back. For me, obviously that's a given. And then we'll have to wait and see whether there's any movement towards the end of January of transfers. But again, I thought a lot of players were fine. Anthony Gordon looked a real threat. Murphy was decent. A lot of the certain midfielders were decent as well. It was a scrappy game that you had to put your foot in and hang in there. Don't get me wrong, I think the second half, as I say, our goal lived a little bit of a charm. I wouldn't say that we got better second half with the goal, because, again, how many saves did Dubravka have? A lot of the shots were going wide, but we got the win. At the end of the day, it's an ugly win, but who cares? We got the win in London. And our record here is not that bad. It's something like, what's it, 3 wins out of 5 or something like that? Or 3 and 6, I might be wrong. One of you will know that. But so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to go to the airport, because I've got a flight at 6:30. It's about 3 o'clock now. So that's going to take us an hour and a half, possibly 2 hours to get Heathrow. And fingers crossed that there's nice snow, otherwise I could be staying in London the night. But if you can drop us a massive like for this video, and we'll see you very soon on Newcastle Fans TV. Get it.